Hi, I'm Mal Hope. I'm creative lead for Alien Isolation.
So let's talk a little about what you guys are showing new when it comes to the experience that people have in this new survival horror game.
So previously we had shown you the kind of core experience, what it's like to be with in a space with our alien and a motion tracker. Today we're showing the much wider experience, showing you the kind of variety of obstacles that confront the player. So on the station itself, there's some small inhabitants, and they're in the same situation to you. They're very desperate to survive, and they're very unpredictable as to how they react to events. And in this slice of the game, which takes place kind of towards, well, in the first half of the game, they kind of prove an obstacle to the player, and at the same time there's some synthetics in the world, kind of android types. They too are another obstacle to the player, all under the umbrella of potentially encountering the alien at any point. And so I guess one of the things that we're showing today is how the player, the wider scope for the player to change the odds. So they have a small amount of weaponry, including the kind of very iconic flamethrower from the first film. But alongside that, the player, if they explore the world, they can find components and put things together, some kind of devices that, if deployed at the right place at the right time, will give them an increased chance of survival.
The alien has got a very dynamic AI personality. What will these other humans and synthetics that people will be encountering, what will their AI be like?
So it's all, I guess the core of it is all the same. They too are very dynamic and reactive. They're not really running under any prescribed paths either, and so you have this amazing emergent gameplay where the player is really trying to influence the outcome, but because everyone is kind of reacting to the events around them, you can get some really incredible kind of chain reactions. So one of the things you can do in the demo, in the slice of the game we're showing today, is you can build this thing called, we call the noisemaker. It's kind of cool. It has kind of 2 speakers on it, and when you deploy it, and when you throw it into the world, it starts to make these kind of really strange noises that attracts anything that can hear it. But at the same time, so you might attract some humans in order to move them out of the way and clear your path, but at the same time that might attract the alien, and then they get involved with each other and there's confrontation, and that's when you can take your opportunity to slip past and keep progressing.
And as the game progresses, the alien will take out synthetics and humans as well as try to hunt you?
Well, the alien's kind of quite isn't so interested in the synthetics unless they see them as a threat. But yeah, absolutely. If it finds any humans, it will make short work of them. And again, that's when you're looking to take advantage of the situation. But at the same time, the alien is adapting to these events. So, say you started throwing a lot of these noisemaker devices, it would learn that it's kind of being gamed, it's being played with, and it would start to react differently, and it wouldn't be so fast and quick to respond to your actions. And so you're gonna have to change up. You're gonna have to think of look for other ways to try and change the world around you.
Can you use the fact that the synthetics aren't a focus of the aliens to your advantage in the game?
So the synthetics are interesting because they're not. Sometimes they're kind of very neutral. Sometimes they're positive, but sometimes they're negative. But you can't really be sure as to how they're going to respond. And so again, it's a case of trying to understand the situation, weigh up all the information you've got, and then making it kind of coming up with a strategy and seeing how that plays out. And sometimes I think some of the kind of the joy is because everything is reacting to the world around it. Results can be really unexpected, and you have to react in real time in order to try and survive.
For those who are familiar with Bishop from the original film franchise, is it very obvious who the synthetics are versus who the humans are?
A bit like visually. So within our game, there's a different corporation called Sigson, and they're the corporation that run the station. And now they're way behind in the kind of tech race. They have created their own kind of android synthetic person, but in no way as advanced as say Ash from the first film or Bishop from Aliens. They're a little more straightforward and visually very obviously not trying to pretend to be human, and that's actually their kind of angle. That they call them working Joes, and I think their catchphrase is "You'll always know a working Joe," because they're not trying to pretend to be a human person. So that you quite quickly realise who these characters are.